Let me break down how to narrow down the right TV for you based on your budget and your quality needs. There are four main technologies currently in TVs: LED, QLED, Mini LED, and OLED. As we move from left to right, that is LED to OLED, the picture quality improves significantly. LED TVs give solid performance without a premium price tag. On the other end, OLED TVs give the best picture quality, best color accuracy, blacks, and viewing angles. Between the two are the QLED and the Mini LED technologies. I'll cover the most popular size today, the 55-inch TVs. I've gone over 70 55-inch TVs to make your life easier by helping you to narrow down the list of TVs you should consider. I have a separate video for 43-inch TVs and larger 65-inch plus TVs, which I have linked somewhere here. Now let me summarize before getting into all of the details. To get the best value for your money, you need to buy what you need but not overpay for features that you will not use. So let's try to understand that. Your room setup matters when you're shortlisting your TV. So for brighter rooms, LED or QLED are better as they have better brightness. For darker rooms, Mini LED or OLED TVs are better as they excel at contrast as well as deep blacks. Now for everyday shows, movies and sports, a TV with 60Hz refresh rate is more than enough. Why? Even fast sports like football, F1 stream at 50 frames per second, which can be viewed very well in a TV with 60Hz refresh rate. If you game with gaming consoles like PlayStations or Xboxes and play games at 120 frames per second, a 120Hz refresh rate would be ideal. The TV audio has gotten worse as screens have gotten thinner. It would be ideal to plan for a soundbar or a home theater system rather than focusing on the audio quality of the TV speakers, if audio quality is your top priority. Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus and 4K content are mainly available through higher subscription tiers of Netflix Premium or Hotstar top plans. So, unless you're already paying for those or you plan to get the premium subscription, just getting a higher end TV will not deliver you the experience that you're expecting. 8K TVs are still not worth it in 2025. There is almost zero 8K content and the quality from 4K to 8K is noticeable mostly in larger sizes, not in 55 inches, which we will cover today. Now, you can skip the details if you want and directly jump to the recommendations towards the end. I've put the timestamps in the chapters. But like me, if you like details, let's compare the video performance, the audio performance and convenience aspects of various different TVs that I have compared. Starting with the video performance. You will see HDR10, HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision everywhere on TVs. HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision are better than HDR10 as they use dynamic metadata to adjust the brightness and contrast scene by scene or frame by frame compared to HDR10, which uses static one-size-fits-all metadata for the entire content. But you may ask, why don't all TVs support Dolby Vision? That's because it has its own licensing fees. So even premium brands like Samsung, LG and Sony sometimes skip it to control costs and use HDR10 Plus. Having one of HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision is good. But remember, you may need premium streaming subscription to get access to these. Next are the refresh rates. When you're watching fast-moving content, a higher refresh rate helps to display the content smoothly without motion blur. Let's try to understand what commonly watched content is streamed at. Cricket streams at 50 frames per second. Movies and documentaries run at 24 frames per second for a cinematic feel. And Formula 1 and other action sports stream at 60 frames per second. All of these can be handled quite well by a TV with 60Hz refresh rate. Now, gaming with a dedicated gaming console requires a higher frame rate. So 120Hz displays becomes valuable for the gaming use case. Our goal when shortlisting a TV should be to get the TV's refresh rate to be as close as possible to the content's frame rate. And this is why budget and mid-range models stick with 60Hz, which is good enough for casual viewing, while premium models offer higher refresh rates, which can also be used for gaming. The next thing that determines video performance is MEMC or motion estimation and motion compensation. This reduces the strain on our eyes during action or fast-moving scenes by creating additional frames between the original frames. Every TV that we have compared includes MEMC. Let's talk about upscaling. Let's say we are watching cable TV or older videos on YouTube or basic streaming plans, or even this video. The content resolution is often below the TV's 4K capability. Full HD content only contains 25% of the pixel information. So for better viewing experience, 4K or smart or AI upscaling, whatever different brands want to call it, will expand the pixel density for better picture quality. Only the models that you see on the screen do support upscaling. While this video is not very specific for the gaming use, if you are a gamer, there are a few key things you should be aware of when you're shortlisting a TV for gaming. You should consider a TV with a 120Hz refresh rate if you are playing games up to 120 frames per second, typically available with the PlayStation or Xbox. Should consider auto low latency mode or game mode to ensure responsive controls. Variable refresh rate should be considered to reduce screen tearing and stuttering. And the eARC HDMI 2.1 connectivity with a 4K 120Hz or 144Hz should be considered for the gaming console. More often than not, budget models will lack ALLM or VRR support. I'll recommend a few gaming TVs as well in the end. Let's talk about audio performance. I've said it multiple times, as TVs have gotten sleeker, the built-in audio quality has declined over time. So adding a soundbar or a home theater system will significantly improve our overall TV viewing experience. Now that said, if you want to start with built-in audio only, let's look at what you need to consider. First is the power output of wattage. This tells us how loud the TV is, not how good the audio quality is, which we will talk about next. Next, you have to consider the channels. Most TVs include two speakers, the left and the right speaker. Some TVs include inbuilt subwoofers to enhance the bass experience. And a handful of TVs include upward firing speakers to create a more dimensional sound. So higher number of speakers, subwoofers, up-firing speakers is better if you're depending on the TV for audio. The View Vibe DV is the only one that includes a soundbar in the TV itself. Lastly, you have to consider the audio processing. Having Dolby Atmos or DTS Virtual X is the gold standard. These will help to decompress the audio into multiple channels that are there in the TV. So Dolby Audio or Dolby Digital are next. Only the TVs that you see on the screen support either Dolby Atmos or DTS X. Having personally experienced the difference between TV audio and soundbar, having a soundbar or a home theater system definitely creates a more immersive TV viewing experience. Now let's talk about how easy or difficult it is to navigate through the TV, or the convenience aspects. The operating system can make or break the viewing experience. There are two main variants now: proprietary operating system like the Samsung's Tizen, LG WebOS and Hisense Vida, which are optimized for speed and responsiveness. The trade-off of these is that some users find them less intuitive compared to Google TV, though usability has dramatically improved in the recent years. Previously, app coverage was better in the Google TV, but that also has improved significantly even on these proprietary operating systems. Personally, having used all of them over the years, I still find the Google TV experience the most intuitive to use. Now, in addition to the operating system, having adequate RAM is key for a smooth browsing experience over time. Toshiba, Lumio, TCL and higher-end versions of Hisense, Samsung, LG and Sony have higher RAM than most other TVs, which cap it at about 2 GB. Every TV we've compared include the HDMI eARC ports for connecting audio equipment and gaming consoles, plus multiple HDMI and USB ports for additional devices. All of them are smart TVs, so dual band Wi-Fi connectivity is fairly standard. AirPlay casting has been quite frustrating for many people. On the screen, you can see the TVs that do support AirPlay. Now, most TVs have a warranty of 1 year, with TCL, Hisense, Lumio, Acer having a 2-year coverage. Some premium models of Samsung, Sony, LG have a 3-year coverage. After going through thousands of reviews of these TV brands, as expected, Samsung, LG and Sony have the best product and service satisfaction ratings. Some established TV brands like Hisense, TCL, View, Realme, Haier, Toshiba, Mi have decent satisfaction metrics. And satisfaction for new brands like Lumio, New, VW, Acer and so on needs to be seen over time. TV is one appliance where it would make sense to take extended warranty, including the panel, when it is available by the brand. Since there are so many different technologies from LED to OLED, so many budget and premium brands, I'll share recommendations by price segments. Premium brands like Sony, LG and Samsung only start appearing in the 50,000 and above segment for the 55-inch size. In the 55-inch segment, there are very few TVs under 30,000, and of those, I recommend the iFalcon by TCL U65 LED TV. This has a good picture quality with Dolby Vision and MEMC for smooth motion. It uses the HBA panel for vibrant colors and wide viewing angles. compared to regular VA panels. It has Google TV support and 24-watt speaker for decent audio. It does not have any gaming features like ALLM VRR, so that it's only suitable for TV viewing. As for the cons, as mentioned earlier, installation and service is average in some parts of the country. Under 40,000 segment, we start getting QLED TVs in budget and mid-range brands. No premium brands are available yet in this price range. My first recommendation is the Motorola 2025 QLED TV. This TV supports Dolby Vision, a 60Hz refresh rate, and MEMC for a good video performance, a 48-watt speaker with 2 speakers and Dolby Atmos support for decent audio performance, and Google TV for browsing and navigation. As for the cons, although it does support ALLM and gaming features, it does not have an HDMI ER port for connection of gaming consoles. So, it is only suitable for TV viewing. Service experience is also average. My next recommendation is the View Vibe DV QLED TV. The main attraction of this TV, like I mentioned earlier, is an integrated 88-watt soundbar for excellent audio. So an external soundbar may not be required in most cases. It supports Dolby Vision, MEMC and 4K upscaling for good video performance. It also has Google TV with Chromecast for great browsing experience as well. Some users do find the rear body bit plasticky, but that is fine in my opinion at this price point, because how often do you see the rear? My next recommendation under 40K is the Hisense E7Q QLED TV. The quantum dot display, support of Dolby Vision, HDR10+, MEMC and 4K upscaling gives a rich visual experience. It has a 30-watt output from 2 speakers with Dolby Atmos support for a decent audio quality. It uses the VIDA operating system, which is now better than before from a browsing experience point of view. The thing to note here is the memory and storage are limited, lower than most TVs at 1.5 GB and 8 GB respectively. So, we can expect some user experience lag over time. And my last recommendation at this budget is the new Lumio Vision 7 QLED TV. This TV offers a wide color gamut and Dolby Vision support with AI upscaling and MEMC for great picture quality and smoothness as well. A 30-watt output from 2 speakers with Dolby Atmos support for a decent audio quality and Google TV for enhanced browsing experience. It also has one of the largest RAM of 3 GB, which helps with faster loading and less lag in user experience over time. Since this is a new brand, service network still needs to be validated. My next recommendation is an LED TV, the new TCL V6C LED TV. This TV supports Dolby Vision and MEMC for a good stutter-free video experience, has a 24-watt output from 2 speakers for a decent audio output, and Google TV experience for good browsing experience. It has an HVA panel, which is an improvement over the VA panel for better contrast and viewing angles. You should know that the average peak brightness is about 270 nits, so not very great for very bright rooms. Compared to these, I would still prefer the QLED TVs that I recommended earlier. Under 50,000, we now start getting mid-range QLED TVs and LED TVs of premium brands like Samsung and LG. My first recommendation here is the Xiaomi Mi X Pro Cinemagic QLED TV. This is a 2025 model 4K QLED TV with Dolby Vision, HDR10+, MEMC and Filmmaker mode for great visuals. Sound is average with a 34-watt speaker with Dolby Audio and DTS-X. It has patch wall for content personalization and supports Apple AirPlay for ease of casting. Warranty and service have mixed reviews as well. My next recommendation is the TCL T89C QLED TV. With an HVA QLED panel, support of Dolby Vision, 120Hz refresh rate and MEMC, it gives a smooth and bright picture quality. It has a 35-watt output with 2 speakers and 1 subwoofer with Dolby Atmos support for a very decent audio quality. With its 120Hz native refresh rate, 144Hz VRR and support for ALLM along with HDMI 2.1 EARC port, this TV is ideal for gamers. In the premium brands, my first recommendation is the LG UA8200 LED TV. Like I mentioned earlier, many premium brands do not support Dolby Vision except at their higher price points. And that is the case with this one too. Although it only supports HDR10 HLG, its dynamic tone mapping helps it to achieve the visual quality as good as HDR10+. With an Alpha 7 AI processor, upscaling is good too. Even though it has a virtual 9.1.2 sound, the audio output is ordinary and will require an external soundbar. This includes ALLM, VRR and the HDMI EARC port, so can be used for gaming, but only for games that operate at 60 frames per second or below. In the premium brands, my second recommendation is the Samsung Crystal 4K Vista Pro LED. Again, this is an LED TV compared to the QLED TVs from the mid-range brands that we already covered. While it does not support Dolby Vision, it does support HDR10 Plus and 4K upscaling, so suitable for even lower resolution content. It does not support ALLM and VRR and also has a low refresh rate of 50 Hz, so it is not ideal for gaming, only for casual TV viewing. In the 50 to 70,000 range, we start getting mini LED TVs from mid-range brands and QLED TVs from premium brands. My recommendation is the TCL Q6C Mini LED TV. This TV has brilliant colors through QD Mini LED technology with 512 plus dimming zones. It has 1000 nits peak brightness, 144 Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10 plus support. Audio quality is just okay with 40 watts Onkyo Dolby Atmos speakers. With a 144 Hz refresh rates and Game Master mode along with ALLM, VRR and HDMI 2.1 EARC support, this TCL Mini LED is also ideal for gaming. It also has 3 GB RAM, one of the best overall to minimize the interface lag over time, and also includes 32 GB storage. My next recommendation is the Hisense U7Q Mini LED TV. This has a full array local dimming with 900 nits peak brightness. It also supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, MEMC, 4K upscaling, and a 144 Hz refresh rate for great picture quality. It has 40 watt speaker with subwoofer for decent bass in the audio. The VIDA operating system supports major streaming apps, although not many people are huge fans. It is also a good gaming TV with multiple HDMI 2.1 ports, support for ALLM and VRR. In the premium brands, my first recommendation is the LG 8AA QNED TV. This is the 2025 version of the much popular QNED 75 from 2024. It does not support Dolby Vision or HDR10+, like many premium TVs at this budget. But with a quantum dot nanocell display, it supports a wide color gamut and bright visuals, and with dynamic tone mapping, it is able to achieve the visual quality as good or better as HDR10+. With a 20 watt speaker, sound output is fairly average, so you would benefit from an external soundbar or a home theater system. It uses the WebOS operating system, which is much improved now and user-friendly. My next recommendation in the premium brands is the Sony Bravia 2 Mark II LED TV. This is one of the more affordable Sony TVs. It is an upgrade from the 2024 Sony Bravia 2 at a slightly higher price point. There are a few improvements in video quality. It has more vibrancy and improvements in audio quality. It now supports Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual X. Although it supports ALLM, VRR and the HDMI EARC port, it can only be used for games that operate below 60 FPS. Sony LED TVs with their tri-luminous technologies makes the visual experience comparable to QLED TVs. For an even better Sony LED, you can consider the Bravia 3, which has a slightly better picture quality and Dolby Vision support at about 10,000 rupees more. Now we come to the last segment, the premium TV segment above 70,000. Here we start seeing mini LEDs and OLED TVs from premium brands in the 55-inch size. I have two main recommendations for you here. First is the Sony Bravia 5 Mini LED TV. This is a mid-tier Sony Mini LED TV which includes XR cognitive processor, Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. It delivers vibrant colors, a 120 Hz refresh rate, excellent upscaling, deep blacks, good local dimming and smooth upscaling for low quality content. It also has features for gaming, 120 Hz refresh rate, support of ALLM, VRR and HDMI 2.1 EARC port. This is a newer, more affordable mini LED version of the Bravia 7 that was launched last year. But Bravia 7 has a more premium cinematic experience with brighter highlights, deeper contrast and more vivid colors, if that is what you prefer. And my last recommendation is the LG C4 OLED TV. By its nature, the LG C4 OLED offers perfect blacks, vivid colors and powerful upscaling. But brightness of OLED TVs is lower than other technologies. So if you would use your TV in a brighter room, it is always better to go for LED or QLED TVs that I have recommended earlier. This LG TV supports Dolby Vision and has a 120 Hz refresh rate for good picture quality. It also has a virtual 9.1.2 40 watt speaker output for decent audio quality. It also includes gaming features, so it can be used as a gaming TV as well. Since there are so many technologies, so many budget and premium brands, the recommendation list turned out to be quite long. If you found this video useful, Share the video and subscribe to become part of the 1.7 lakh plus community that trusts us with their decision making. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.